Hi there and welcome to the Ultimate Haaland Draft. If you're like me, was considering starting the season without Haaland, I watched him in pre-season versus Chelsea. Yes, I know it's only pre-season, but hear me out. Within 5 minutes, he has a brace. By the end of the game, he's got a hat-trick. I immediately logged into official FPL and started tinkering because I was thinking, I need to start with this guy in my team. So I played around, I looked at loads of other people's teams that have Haaland, and now I've come up with this draft which hopefully ticks all your boxes. Starting with the goalkeeper, I've gone for Dean Henderson, 4.5 million, really cheap, and I think he's the best goalkeeper at that price point. If you're willing to spend 5 million, you can go for Pickford. 5.5 million, you can go for Raya. But at 4.5 million, Dean Henderson's the one for me. Apart from the cheap price, I like the fixtures. They start the season with Brentford away, West Ham at home, Chelsea away, Leicester at home, and then the fixtures get easier after this. Also, we need to consider the form. The way they ended last season, under this new manager, the team is really strong, and I think they're going to improve this season, despite losing some key personnel. The defense is a back three, as you can see, and we're going to start with Konsa. 4.5 million, again, another cheap player. You can see a little theme here. We have to do this if we want to fit Haaland in. So 4.5 million defender in, plays for Aston Villa, who I think are going to be very strong. I do know they have the Champions League this season, and it starts earlier, which could hinder them. We saw what it done to Newcastle last season. It really decimated them. But I think Unai Emery has much more experience in European football. They've bought well in the market, and they're still shopping, which means they're going to have a good squad size, which should mean they're comfortable with the Premier League and Champions League beside each other. Aston Villa have the third best defensive fixtures if you include the first 6, and they start with West Ham away, Arsenal at home. Yeah, those two are not the best, but after that they do get better. Leicester away, Everton at home, and then the ones after this get even better. There's a lovely run. If you look at it, you'll see for yourself. Attacking wise, you're not going to get much from Konsa. 1 goal, 1 assist, and 7 clean sheets is what he gave us last season. Villa kept 8, by the way, but he missed one of those games. But at that price, I'm more than comfortable starting with him, and if he doesn't perform, there's so many other options as well. Speaking of other cheap defenders, Mykolenko at 4.5 million, playing for Everton, who are pretty solid under Daesh last season. Kept 13 clean sheets, joint with City, second best after Arsenal. Potential attacking returns being a fullback, he just needs to stay fit and lock down that position. Fixtures are not bad at all. Brighton at home, Spurs away, Bournemouth at home, Aston Villa away, and then the fixtures are not too bad. And for that price, you can rotate with your bench players. The last defender in my 3-4-3 is Vardiol. Now, I had to get one premium defender in, and it was tough to pick one, but I think we've got the right one here. If he plays in that position, the left fullback, where he gives the width and he gets permission to invert and bomb forward, he's a locked in my team. 6 million, but I'm not concerned at all. He played centre-back recently for Manchester City's pre-season games, but I think that's more to personnel, with a lot of the players still not fully back from the international football. Manchester City's fixtures: Chelsea away, Ipswich at home, West Ham away, Brentford at home. I think from those 4, you could expect 2 clean sheets for Manchester City. Last season, Vardiol gave us 4 goals, 2 assists, and 9 clean sheets. And we have to remember, he didn't really play at the start of the season. Only the second half of the season where he got into his flow, Pep started to trust him, and then he locked down that position. The first midfielder we're going to talk about is Gibbs White, a penalty taker for 6.5 million, playing for a team with excellent fixtures, definitely ticks all the boxes. Starts the season with Bournemouth at home, then Southampton away, Wolves at home, and Liverpool away. Last season, he scored 5 goals and 12 assists, and I honestly think he's going to score more goals this season, especially with those 2 wingers, Elanga and Hudson-Odoi, and they bought another winger. I think there's more goals in this team, especially from the penalty routes. Another big tick with Morgan Gibbs-White is the minutes. He played over 3,000 last season, so no headache. One of the big tips in FPL is to pick players that play 90 minutes. Here, you've got one. Next up is the Egyptian King. Yes, he's expensive. Yes, I have Haaland, but guess what? I had to have him in my draft. Last season was meant to be a poor season. He scored 18 goals, 12 assists in under 2,500 minutes. That's incredible. That's 500 less minutes, by the way, that he normally averages a season because of the injuries and international football. So just think what he's going to do if he stays fit this season. The fixtures: unreal. Start the season with Ipswich away, straight away Brentford at home, Manchester United away, which we know Manchester United can be a good fixture for Salah, and then Nottingham Forest at home. So that's the first 4, but they carry on being really good after this. And the last thing I'll say about Salah is in Slot's new system, I have noticed in build-up play, they do leave Salah 1v1. They try to get him with the left back isolated, which means 2 things. He's going to cut in, go past him and get the goals, get the shots off, or he's going to get the assists. I think this season he's going to get so many assists, so there's no concerns. Even at his price range, he's captain material, penalty taker, an easy pick for me. Besides Salah, we've got a player in Cuckoo who, unfortunately, we was robbed of his talents last season because of a horrible injury, but hopefully he's going to be fit and ready to start this season. I've been watching him in pre-season. He's looking good, slowly regaining that sharpness. The manager's already spoken about how he can play through the middle, left wing, multiple positions, which tells me he's going to be starting this season, and I'm excited about that. 6.5 million for a marquee player like him is a no-brainer. Chelsea's fixtures as well. I keep mentioning fixtures, but it's such an important part of us picking, especially our game week 1 team. Manchester City at home, yeah, maybe not the best fixture, but after that, Wolves away, Crystal Palace at home, Bournemouth away, and the sea of greens continues. When you take all of that into consideration, I think he's going to be a perfect pick and potentially could break the game this season. He could be the new Palmer. The last midfielder in my 3-4-3 is Anthony Gordon. Last season, he really impressed me. 11 goals, 16 assists. Incredible. He just locked down that left-hand side. The only wish is he's attracted the eyes of some of the big clubs. Now, Liverpool are looking at him. I'm not sure if I would keep him in my team if he did go to Liverpool, mainly because Liverpool have so many attacking talent. His minutes could be impacted. Where at Newcastle, I think there's no issue. He's one of their alphas in that team. He starts every game. That's undisputed. Newcastle's fixtures, no issues at all. Beautiful starting fixtures. Southampton at home, Bournemouth away, Spurs at home, Wolves away. Apart from the goals and assists, another thing that impresses me about Anthony Gordon is his mentality. I've seen a couple of interviews this summer and he really impressed me. He's got this drive and hunger to not be satisfied with what he's achieved and he wants more. And this is the reason, like I said earlier, loads of clubs are looking at him. He's got potential to go up a couple of gears and this could be the season where he does that. Starting with the attackers, and I've gone for Menez. It was a tight one between him and Wood, but Menez have just got the edge. Combo of 2 things which we're going to go into right now. The first is that they scored 55 goals last season, which was only the 12th best in the Premier League. Nothing incredible, but they're adding attacking talent. I've just seen Smith Rowe has joined. In fact, he scored in his first pre-season game. It tells you the level of player they're adding, and I think Menez is going to benefit from that. I just spoke about the fixtures. They start with Manchester United away, but then Leicester at home, Ipswich away, West Ham at home, and the fixtures continue to improve. In fact, I think Fulham have got the best fixtures for attackers in the opening 6 games. That's how confident I am, and that's the reason he snuck into my team. And when you add last season, he scored 9 goals and 2 assists in just 1,589 minutes. Not bad at all, and I think they're going to improve that tally this season, so he takes the first spot. Next up is Isak. Now, I don't need to sell him to you because I 100% bet he's in your draft. He's an excellent player. As long as he's fit, he's going to be in most people's teams. 8.5 million, probably underpriced, to be honest. That's how good he's become. He's captain material. Going to take penalties as well. It's just a no-brainer. Considering Isak scored 21 goals or 4 assists, I don't think Wilson being fit is going to be a threat to his minutes. So that's another thing we don't need to worry about. It's an easy pick. And last but not least is Haaland himself. £15 million, so expensive and could potentially impact the balance of our team. But guess what? I had to bring him in. It doesn't matter. He had to be in this team. I've already spoken about the fixtures when I was speaking about Vardy. The fixtures are not a problem for City. Even at 15 million, I think the captaincy makes Haaland such an asset in this game. If you haven't seen my tips video, I speak about how important captaincy is for FPL managers, arguably the most important thing, and he makes the captaincy a breeze. Every week at minimum, he gets a goal. That's his ratio at the moment. It's just ridiculous. 1 goal, if you captain him, that's near 16 points. It just makes life very easy. And last but not least, we're going to have a quick look at the bench. Turner in goal, yeah, he's more than likely not going to play. If I do find a £4 million goalkeeper who does play, they will be in there. But I'm not interested in rotating goalkeepers. I just want that can hopefully deliver the points until I wildcard, and then I'll get the next best one at that time. Menta on the bench. Great signing from Newcastle. Brighton done some good work there. He's looked really well in pre-season. The only issue I've got there, I need my first sub to be solid and playing most minutes. And if I think the Brighton manager is going to rotate him, because they've got so much attacking players, I will swap him to someone like Smith Rowe, who, by the way, has just scored a goal for his first pre-season game. So that tells you he's got potential for 5.5. The reason I need my first sub to be solid and playing good minutes, I've got 2 £4 million players, which is always risky in the FPL. First one's Barco, basically playing because the Stupidan's injured, but you never know with £4 million players, they could just vanish. And next up, I've got Harwood. So I'm not super confident on those 2 players there. It's something that one of the risks or disadvantages of having Haaland and Salah, we've had to manage the money around, which is not ideal. But having said all of that, I'm still really happy with this draft. I think it's super strong. I'm more than comfortable to start the season with this draft if I go with a Haaland Salah pick. I did do an alternative draft, as many of you were asking me, is it possible to have Haaland, Salah and Trent in the starting 11? And I found a way. Before we get into it, if you're enjoying the content, do me a favor, drop a like and subscribe and share the video, but also get in the comments and let me know who you're starting game week 1 with. Salah and Trent, Haaland, are they in your team? To get Trent in, you have to make sacrifices. He's £7 million. I think he's going to be worthwhile. I've been watching Slot this preseason and I've seen the tactical differences he's making. The fullbacks are integral. If you attack down the left, the right fullback tucks in, but not just tucks in an inverted position where they're beside the 6. No, sometimes they tuck in very advanced behind the 8s or 10s in a very attacking position. When you're someone like Trent's quality, that's potential for a shot on goal or an easy assist. So there's big potential there. The other noticeable difference is the underlapping. Trent will be getting to the byline. Salah will be flicking the ball around for him. Trent cutting the ball back. Again, more avenue to points, and that's not including the corners and free kicks. So £7 million got huge potential for Trent here. To get Trent in, as I said, we had to cull a couple of players. Gibbs White, the penalty taker, unfortunately is brought down to a 5.5 million Nottingham Forest midfielder. Hudson-Odoi, not too bad of a sacrifice because I do think he's going to be starting and causing havoc, but we do need to watch the minutes. And Nkuku, Salah remain, they're non-negotiable for me. That's a definite starting. Gordon's gone, which is not ideal, but he's gone to Eze, who is a class player and should be the talisman of this Crystal Palace team, especially as Elise is gone now, so potentially penalties, free kicks, most of the set pieces. So that's a big plus there. The other sacrifice is the bench. Instead of Menta, a £5.5 million player, I've gone to Rodgers for a £5 million player. So you could see I've had to pinch money here and there, but you could argue in this team, you've gained a premium, possibly the best premium defender in FPL, and you've sacrificed small changes. What do you think of draft 2? Are those sacrifices worth it to get Trent in? Is it better than the original draft 1, which I think is the solid super Haaland team to start with in game week 1? I hope you enjoyed that video, but more importantly, I hope you found the video useful. It's very difficult to get a team of Trent, Haaland and Salah in as they're so expensive, but I think I've done a good job. If you've enjoyed the video, do me a favor, drop a like, subscribe and share the video. I'm trying to reach my next milestone, which is 1,000 subscribers, and I'm hoping I can do it before the season starts. Oh, one more thing before you leave. If you want to win your mini leagues, I've got a video that has all the tips for you. Trust me. All the elite managers will be using this video right here. So you're going to want to watch this video and you're going to destroy all your mini leagues. You can come back and thank me at the end of the season.